Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my spooky reading vlog. In this vlog, I plan on possibly reading maybe 2 to 3 new horror spooky releases or 2 to 3 horror books. So I haven't decided yet. It's Saturday, I'm here, I'm about to get my nails done. I am 30 minutes early to my appointment because I want to live my best life today. I feel like I'm living my best life today. I bought myself a ham and cheese croissant and I got myself a pumpkin spice hot latte. The weather today is gloomy and I absolutely love it so much. It's gloomy, it's dark, it's windy. It's literally 70 degrees outside, which I'm not complaining because it's been 90 to 97 all month in September. So I am excited for that. I'm gonna just drink my coffee and listen to the September House. If you hear the traffic, I am so sorry. This is probably not the best spot to be filming, but I feel like I should just share what I'm reading since this is my spooky vlog. I decided to start reading the September House and I'm not regretting it at all because it took me so long to buy the book. If I order it on Amazon, I'm not going to be getting it anytime soon. It'll be delivered towards the end of October, like October 18th. So that's not an option. And I don't necessarily want to go to Barnes and spend a ton of money on just one book. No offense to Barnes, but I don't want to go to Barnes and just buy the book yet. I might cave in because it's really good so far. I just want to hold off on that for now. I have a credit on Audible, so I decided to listen to it on Audible and it's so good. If you don't know what this book is about, this book follows Margaret and she has recently just purchased this beautiful old Victorian house that is for her dream home. In her childhood, she's never had an actual physical home where she's lived. Her and her parents have always moved and rented, and so this is very special to her. This is her first purchased home. She will do anything to keep it that way. However, she did buy the house at a fair price. It was almost too good to be true considering how big the house is. I think it's a 5-bedroom house with a basement. Everything is fine until September arrives, and September is literally the time where the house is pretty much haunted all month long. It has bleeding walls, it has ghostly child figures, it has a maid. Some of these ghosts seem friendlier than others. The maid will come up to her here and there and ask her if she wants tea or ask her if she wants sugar in her tea. There's also other ghosts in the house. The problem is that even though these ghosts don't mean any harm to her for now, they have been brutally murdered in some kind of way. So they do approach you with the wound of the axe that killed them and hit them in the face, or, you know, an eye socket popped out. So it's pretty gory that way. It's a little gruesome, but I'm really enjoying it. And there's a little bit of humor in there as Margaret has chosen to live this way because she refuses to move out of her house. She has chosen to live this way. And so she just walks around and ignores the ghosts or sometimes tries to talk to them. There is this other separate entity in the basement and it's so bad that she has boarded up the entire door so that it does not get out. So I'm curious to see where that all goes. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. It's been so fun just listening to it in the mornings. In the mornings, I literally wake up and have my coffee and just listen to it and just take it all in. It's so good. It's definitely got the spooky vibes. It's perfect for this weather. It's perfect for spooky season, so I love it so much. And I don't know, maybe I won't buy the book. Maybe I'll just continue to listen to it on Audible and go from there. I'm for sure enjoying it. Have no complaints. I knew this book was going to be good. I was hesitant to read it because it is a little bit more comical, but the goriness is there, the horror is there, the tragedies are there, and it's just so interesting so far. Also, she did move into this house with her husband, but her husband is gone. I guess the 3rd month living in that house, he decided he would leave. This is not a spoiler because this is at the back of the book, but after the 3rd month, or on the 3rd month, he decides he no longer wants to be living in that house, so he leaves. But I'm curious because Catherine, I think her name is Catherine, or is that her daughter's name? Margaret. Catherine is her daughter. Margaret is the main character. Margaret doesn't seem very sympathetic or doesn't seem very sad about the whole situation with her husband not being there with her. So I'm starting to suspect a few things. It sounds a little bit too suspicious to me. And also her daughter is gonna be visiting her because she hasn't heard from her father in a month. Finally, Margaret had the courage to tell her daughter that he just left and left it at that, expecting her daughter not to have follow-up questions. Her daughter's flying in to see Margaret and to try to figure out why her father's missing. And so Margaret is very hesitant about this because it is September and she doesn't want her daughter to be witnessing or experience the horrors that happen and occur in that house during the month of September. The house is always haunted, but during the month of September, it intensifies. It is so much worse. So she's afraid that if her daughter witnesses these things, she will have her mom move out of the house, and Margaret doesn't want to move out of the house because this is her dream home. She is determined to live in it with or without ghosts, with or without horrors. The story is so interesting. I am so glad that I picked this up on a whim. I knew I wanted to read it at some point, but I decided to read it for this spooky vlog because it's perfect. I have like 25 minutes left before my nail appointment. I'm probably just gonna get your classic black nails this time. I'm just gonna enjoy my latte and eat my croissant while I listen to the audiobook of The September House. So I'm living my best life, guys. I can't complain. Oh, and by the way, if my voice sounds funky, I'm sorry. I'm getting over a sore throat. I don't feel fully sick, so I don't think I'm sick. I just had a sore throat last night and it was horrible. It was horrible. So it's much later. We're back home now. We ran some errands, felt productive, so I did film a little unboxing video. I can't wait to share with you guys. So now that I'm home, I've already had lunch. I am gonna change out of these clothes, get into some comfy clothes, make myself some tea maybe, and just listen to The September House. I've been really enjoying that book. I'm glad I'm listening to it. We have a lot of things planned for the month of October and for this week in general. My birthday is on October 2nd and my husband's birthday is on October 5th. My mom's birthday is on October 24th. A lot of things planned this week, this weekend coming up. I'm very excited. Also, tomorrow is the first day of October, so to celebrate, we're gonna do like little cute boo baskets for the kids. They've never had one, so I thought it'd be fun that this year we make them one, and we've already gotten the cute little knickknacks and stuff we want to add into it. It's gonna be fun watching them open it. They have no idea, so I'm excited. Before I make my tea and get comfy, I wanted to show you, I got these special editions from Barnes & Nobles. I ordered these back in June. These are the Crescent City paperback special edition from Barnes & Nobles, and I just got them in today, so I wanted to share them with you. I'm so excited, you guys. I will be reading Throne of Glass series first, and then I will be reading the Crescent City series. I know the third one comes out sometime this year, but I'm gonna wait until the paperback edition comes out. I just feel like I want the paperback to match my other two that I just got. So, and they're stunning. So the first one is House of Earth. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, look how pretty it is. I liked this edition a lot better than I think the hardback. I don't know. I don't know. Could be the same. I just wanted a paperback version of it. But it says exclusive edition. I liked Barnes & Noble's exclusive edition of it. It's just so beautiful. And also, it's floppy, which I love. Definitely love myself a floppy book, considering this is what, 819 pages. So yeah, definitely like it so much. It's so pretty. So this one is the House of Earth and Blood, and then we have the House of Sky and Breath. Oh, and you know what? I'm so bummed because the back, you can't really see it on the camera, but the back is a little dirty because it was sitting on top of the receipt, but look how pretty that is. Look at that. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, the colors on these books are just gorgeous. I guess it makes it a Barnes exclusive edition because it's their version, like their created copy of the book, because it doesn't seem like it's signed or anything. There is this annoying sticker on it too that I'll have my husband take off. I'm definitely happy with these. They're gonna look so pretty on my bookshelf. Look at that. Stunning. I'm so happy. Hi, good afternoon. So, last night I drank some of my tea. Unfortunately, I feel like I am getting sick. Anyways, I've been drinking this like flu tea just to not feel as bad at night because it usually hits me at night. But anyways, as I'm drinking my tea, I pressed play on my audiobook and it was so good until it was too good that I fell asleep. So I fell asleep on chapter 10, which is what you saw this morning, but I've been reading it. I've actually had to go back and re-listen to most of chapter 8 and 9 because I don't remember anything. I dozed off when I hit chapter 10. So I literally don't remember anything at all. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to catch up so I can understand. I'm finally caught up. I understand what's happening now. And yeah, I don't really have much of an update because I didn't really read that much yesterday. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Still, again, feel like Margaret is a little suspicious. And her daughter, Catherine, she is so annoying. She's like this 30-year-old woman who every other word is nothing but F-bombs and cuss words and this and that. And don't get me wrong, I do also say bad words, but just not to that extent. She seems very hot-tempered too. She gets like very explosive very easily. So not a fan of hers. And anyways, not a fan of hers. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna try to get some more reading done while I drink my tea and just relax. And I'm really hoping that tomorrow for my birthday, I can just feel a little better because I really don't want to spend the entire day tomorrow in bed relaxing, which is what I'm gonna want to do if I'm not feeling better by tomorrow. I want to spend some time with my family. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hi guys. As you can tell, I haven't gotten any better. I'm actually feeling a little better, but I'm feeling like my voice sounds so bad, which is not good because I'm trying to film a video today. I want to film my October spooky TBR video. It's one of those things where I don't want to wait until my voice sounds better to film it because I don't know when that's going to be, but I do know I have to film it. So that's where we're at with that. It's my birthday. It's Monday, October 2nd. I'm so happy. Even though I'm not feeling the best and I'm sick, I'm happy that my husband has just allowed me to read all morning because that's really all I want to do today. I'm not trying to go anywhere, not trying to do anything. I just want to finish my book and read and enjoy my new headphones that he got me. I think they're called Wise headphones. Oh my gosh. And I'm just feeling so spoiled. I've been using my Beats, I think they're called Beats earbuds. Even when I don't listen to audiobooks, I tend to listen to an ambiance in the background of some sort. And so I really like it while I'm reading, as I'm reading. It just feels so nice that I'm able to do it with my new headphones. And I have to say, I'm not a huge audiobook person. I don't really listen to a lot of audiobooks because I find them very distracting. Sometimes the narrator's voice just drives me insane, or sometimes I just can't focus because I'm not reading the physical book, and so I drift off. But since I've been sick, it's been so relaxing and so comforting to just drink my tea and listen to the audiobook, especially at night with all the lights off, and especially the creepy book that I'm reading right now. It's so perfect. Granted, sometimes when it's that late at night, I tend to doze off and drift off to sleep. Like, it's the best way for me. Like, it feels so good to be listening to my audiobook and drinking my tea and have my hands free and not have like a light shining on a book or anything like that. And it just feels so good to slowly drift off to sleep, especially since I'm sick. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm gonna be one of those, audiobook girlies. Not really. I always like to read the physical books. Sometimes I do have the physical book and I listen along with the audio, and that's just perfect. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. I'm almost done. It says I have 2 hours and 21 minutes left in my audiobook. I'm definitely going to finish it today. And honestly, I don't know what I want to read. I have so many good books to pick from, you guys. Like, so many good books. I should honestly pick the one that I have checked out right now through my Libby app because because I obviously get 1 credit with Audible, I really do want to just this month, I think I want to try to listen to more audiobooks, especially horror. I have most of the books that I want to read, but I don't have the audio versions of them. I'm slowly getting them in through my Libby app, and I want to be able to listen to it and follow along in the book as well. I feel like this month is the month for that because I just don't feel like physically reading by myself on my own right now. I feel like listening to it. I just feel like it's gonna enhance my experience and my frights, make me feel more frightened as I'm reading. So with that being said, I have a huge stack of horror books and thriller slash horrors, but the one that's available that I have borrowed right now that I was able to get access to right away, and I have 21 days to read it, would be, I'm gonna pull it out. It's actually on my shelf. And that is Old Country by Matt Corey and Harrison Corey. And I talked about this book. I think this book is about demonic entities and about a house and a land that is in the middle of nowhere, you know, off the grid type of thing in the country. Obviously, it's called Old Country, and there has been rituals there, and it's haunted by demons or it's haunted by demonic entities. I don't know, but I heard that this is one of the scariest books. I really, really would like to read this, honestly. And I think it's dual POV, and you get the husband and the wife's perspective in this. This might just be the next book that I read. Sorry guys, I know that I said that I wanted this vlog to particularly be about spooky books that I read that are new releases, and I might do something like that later down the month. I don't know, but I really want to read this. I really want to be scared, because even though I'm enjoying September House, there are some disturbing scenes in this book and some gory scenes. I'm not scared. I think maybe it's because the main character, Margaret, has some kind of humor, and she's very sarcastic. When she sees the ghost of one of these children, the eye socket popped out. She's like, and there's Elizabeth pointing at the basement door as her eye socket is popped out of her face, telling me that he's down there. So she's like very sarcastic in that way, and it's hard for me to get scared. There was a scene right now where it could have been super creepy and scary, but again, like, it wasn't for me. I don't know if it's because I'm not reading it at night or it's not nighttime as I'm listening to that part, but it's not as scary as I want it to be. I want a book to scare me. I don't necessarily want to read very disturbing, triggering things because I feel like I have to work myself up to those things, but I do want to get scared. I will admit that there are parts, like last night, I was listening to it, I was immersed in it, and I'm drinking my tea, and then I'm just relaxing, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm still listening to it, about to doze off, but I'm still paying attention. And because I have my headphones on, I don't hear my husband coming in, and this is at midnight, coming around and getting some cough medicine or something, because he's also sick. We are all sick in this house right now, and it just scared the living crap out of me. Like, it scared me. So I do have like little jump scare moments like that, which I believe it's because of the book, so I will give it credit. And also, I don't necessarily think this is a spoiler, because we all knew that the daughter was going to come visit her mom because her father's been missing for a month and she wants to get to the bottom of it. I just get so frustrated with the main character because Margaret has it in her head that she does not want to tell her daughter the truth about the house, that the fact that she's seeing all these ghosts and all these dead kids and all these dead people and things are happening around her that her daughter can't see. Instead of her explaining to her daughter, yeah, this is what's happening, I'm not going crazy, I don't need to be hospitalized, I am just living in a haunted house and living through all the ghosts in here and all of their murders. I mean, I feel like that sounds less crazy than speaking to one of the children ghosts and letting them know to go away, and then having this horror reaction in your face and trying to explain to your daughter that she's fine. You know, like, that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's frustrating at this point. We're coming towards the end of the book, and still Margaret has not told her daughter that she is going through this, and the reason why she didn't want to tell her before is because she didn't want her to convince her to move out of that house. That is the only complaint I have. Let me show you what I have, the kind of books that I'm thinking about reading, or my horror stack. Let me just give you a little tour of my horror stack, because it's a lot for me anyways. Okay, so in this little table, I have kind of the books that I wanted to focus on this month. I think these two are thrillers. I know Mexican Gothic is a gothic horror. Black Sheep and Black River Orchard are two new releases this year. I believe this one is about a cult, and this one, hear me out, okay? It's about evil apples. But the synopsis got me so intrigued, okay? I'll talk about that more on my TBR video, but yes, I didn't even think about it twice when I read it. I had to buy that book. This little section of shelves right here is my horror section. I'm not a huge horror girly, even though I love scary and horror movies. I love all those things. I'm just not a big, huge horror girly when it comes to reading the genre, just because I feel like horror can get so triggering and so disturbing, and I don't think I'm ready to read to that level yet, to that extent. I want to read something that scares me, but not something that's gonna make me feel just so uncomfortable, you know, and then like make me dwell on it for days. I'm a dweller, I will do that. So here's my little like horror section, as you can see right here. These are all my horror books that I feel like I believe they're horror, and these are kind of all my thrillers on these shelves right here. I have like books like Stolen Tongues, which is something I'm considering. It's basically a horror about a monster lurking outside. Anything that's in a secluded area in the woods or in the mountains and it's snowing, I love the setting of that. I have this one, When the Beckoning Comes. I have Stephen King Salem's Lot. I really don't know what that book is about, and I bought the other version of it because I like this one better. I have your classic Dracula. I have Near to the Bone, which is a domestic violence. This is about a woman who lives with her husband off the grid. There's this lingering entity outside, something like that. This one sounds very good. Dead Lake, about a stalker guy who's stalking this girl in the middle of the woods in the cabin. Nana, I've already read. Disturbing. I have Jennifer Hiller, Wonderland. I don't really think I like Jennifer Hiller. I mean, I read The Butcher and I hated that book. It was so disturbing, and to me, it was just so not my book. This one I haven't heard great things either, so that's why I haven't read it. I have The Cabin at the End of the World. This, I made a mistake by watching the movie first, and I regret it because now I don't want to read the book because I don't like what the movie was about. Honestly. But don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. I will eventually read it. I was just annoyed that I did that. Then I have the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I read this last year by Grady Hendrix. I love this book. This was so good. I love Grady Hendrix. Again, I have Salem Lot. Then I have this classic, The October Country. It has a lot of like sci-fi horror, little short stories. And then I have Battle Royale. I think it's a Japanese horror book. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Japanese. Kind of like the Hunger Games, but with middle schoolers trying to kill each other, which sounds very interesting. It's gonna be a long video. Here I have, I think the Book of Cold Cases is actually not a horror. I should probably take that out. This is probably a thriller. I don't know. But I have Lone Woman back here, which is about this woman who has this mysterious trunk and there's a monster in it, something like that. It's a historical horror, I think. This one, Our Share of Night, is very interesting. I think it's about a medium who his son is starting to see things too. Something tragically happened to his mother. They're trying to solve her murder, something like that, but they see disturbing spirits and they're naked. I don't know. This book is weird, but I heard Gabby Reeds read this book and it got me to want to read it because she said it was so beautifully written, and I love books that are like that. It can be weird, kind of like The Evil Apples. It can be a weird book, but if it's so beautifully written, I will eat it up. Then I have No Exit, which I read, gave this one a 5-star, by Taylor Adams. I have The Hacienda, which is, I think, gothic horror about a haunted house, I believe. Hidden Pictures. I'm bummed about this one because I really wanted to read it, but I've heard such bad reviews, you guys. Really bad, like religious bad reviews. Then I have The Chalk Man, and then here I have Nectophobia, about this couple that moves into this house, and one side of the house is full of sunlight and the other one is dark. That's just about it. It's really creepy. Grady Hendrix, How to Sell a Haunted House. I heard this one wasn't really that scary. It's about puppets and a haunted house, but it's more about the relationship with the characters. So this one is Now You're One of Us. I don't even know how to explain this one. I really am intrigued. wait because I heard it's really good. It's by Asa Naomi. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this one that much because I've already talked about it. The Troop right here, it's about kids that are stuck in this island and there's like this parasite or something like that. Then I have Come For Me With Apples, Camp Slaughter. This is like a slasher about a serial killer who is slaughtering people at a camp by Sergio Gomez. No One Gets Out Alive. I think this one's about a haunted house as well. Dowry of Blood. This is a sapphic horror written in letter form about Dracula's wife, and I think she has a relationship with one of the other wives, and it's her basically writing in a diary format her experiences with Dracula. I'm so sorry this video is so long, you guys. I was not intending it to be this long, but who knows if I'm gonna air this whole thing out. Then I have Mary by Nat Cassidy. This is another one of those books like that book We Spread. I'll put the title somewhere here. But this is about a woman that I believe is going through menopause. But the way she's going through menopause is that she herself and her body is slowly decaying. And she sees this happening to her every day when she looks in the mirror. This is so beautifully written. It's sad. It's got everything. And this is the kind of horror that intrigues me because it's like realistic horror, you know? So I love that. Stuff for the Children by Greg DeLuey. And that's basically about flesh-eating little creepy vampire kids. So there you have it. Those are all my horror books that I have. I have so much to pick from. This year I've been scouring through Goodreads and scouring through the internet to find new horror book releases, and nothing really caught my eye. Just The September House, Black Sheep, and The Black River Orchard. That's pretty much it. So I'm kind of disappointed because nothing else sounds good to me. I need to film my October TBR video. I'm gonna get some more reading done, but yeah, I will like update you on what I decide to read because obviously I have so many books to pick from. I just finished the book. It was so good. Oh my gosh. The last couple of chapters, down to the last chapter, it was insane. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I can't say anything. I can't tell you anything about it, but just know that it was really good. This book has a little bit of everything. The narrator in this book was so good. The book starts not too slow, but it starts a little slow, and the main character is a little comical. She refuses to leave this house because it's her dream house. So she lives with the ghost and the terror and the horrors and what happens every September. So she kind of like just brushes it off. It went from that to being intensely serious towards the end, and gosh, like it was so good. So good. That's all I'm gonna say. I recommend it. It was really fun. The narrator was amazing. It was just, I can't stop saying how good it was. I think I'm gonna give this book a 5-star. I don't know why I'm hesitant to give it a 5-star. There was nothing really that I did not enjoy about it. The pacing wasn't bad for me. Everything that happened in this book, I feel like this is definitely a creative twist to just your good old-fashioned haunted house, you know? And I really liked the ending of it. It was really good. I highly recommend it. Anyways, I really don't know what I'm going to read next. I want to read Old Country, or I want to read The Black River Orchard. I thought I had Old Country available in my Libby app, but I don't. I'm like the first person in line and I don't have it. It's not available yet. Daisy Darker is available, but I don't want to read that right now. I want to read something really spooky and creepy, and I'm just thinking of possibly reading Old Country. I posted my October spooky TBR video today, and someone said in the comments that they were reading Black River Orchard and they absolutely loved it. Really good book, so I'm just excited. Yeah, it's like the wait is 2 weeks. I'm excited to start that book. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna read next, but it's definitely gonna be some kind of creepy book because I'm in the mood. Also, I have Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzill. I don't even know how to say her name. Mostly it's about this creepy doll. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna read. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning. It is Wednesday. I will say I am feeling a little better today. During this vlog, unfortunately, I do have a cold. I've been struggling through it. I've been dealing with it. I've been going through it. It's the nighttime that I feel the worst. In the daytime, I'm up and going, but it's the nighttime that gets me every single time. But I will say that I do feel a lot better. I made myself my pumpkin spice chai latte, which I absolutely loved. I added a little more milk this time, so it's not as sweet, which I like. And I wanted to let you guys know that I picked up last night after I finished my book. I was undecisive of which book to pick up next. I either wanted to pick up Old Country or I wanted to pick up Black River Orchard because those books right now to me sound super intriguing. I did read a couple of sentences of both books. I ended up deciding that I was going to read Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig. I'm excited to read this book. I'm kind of nervous as well for this vlog because it's such a chunky book that I feel like this vlog is gonna take me forever. And my goal is for me to have this up and going like towards the beginning of the month, but I don't know. I'm not the fastest reader, so I don't know. We will see, guys. But I am intrigued though. I'm very interested. I really didn't read a lot last night because I was tired and it was late. I only got to page 18, but so far so good. The prologue in this book right off the bat is so good, so interesting. And the way this author writes, I wouldn't say it's like beautifully lyrically written, but I will say it's descriptive to the point where it like makes you cringe, you know, things like that. And I really enjoy it. I did tab a few things. I like the way it's written. It says here, it was the perfect specimen, red, black, gleaming, beautiful, ready to be skinned and eaten, the seeds bitten and spit. The young woman, whatever her name was, went to it first, captivated by it. It was rather hypnotizing. She reached for it, but did not touch it, likely unsure she even should be touching it. He felt the frisson of excitement and fear climb through her. He could almost hear her wondering if she was simply too crass a creature, too foul a thing to touch that apple. As if her own grotesque fingers, covered as they were in the filth of the world, might bring swift and inescapable rot to that perfect void of apple skin. I mean, that is good. I love that. It's just literally a scene about a girl picking up the most precious apple. And the way that the author writes it is so beautiful, okay? So beautiful. Because of that, I'm intrigued. So we're starting off with our two main characters, Kala and her father. I think his name is Dan. In the prologue, we're starting off Kala and her father, Dan. She has just been awoken by a nightmare that she's had that has kept her up at night. She hears the front door close and finds out that it's her dad who's come in and brought something from the outside. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I should even say this. It's literally in the beginning of the book. She believes it's just a pile of sticks and he's treating it like it's some precious thing, but she believes it's garbage, it's a pile of sticks. And when she unwraps it, because she is nosy and looks in it, something stumbles out and hits her in the foot. And when she looks down, she sees a finger, a human finger, okay? A human finger. She looks at it and she starts to freak out and she asks her dad, what happened to your finger? Your finger just fell off. When she sees her dad's hands, he has all his fingers and he looks at her, he's like, it's not a finger, it's an apple core. When she looks back at the object or at the figure or at the thing that fell on her foot, it is a darkened, almost black blood looking apple core. And so he said that he found the key to a new way of living, and I think he's planning on planting the seeds to make an apple orchard. So that's how the prologue starts, and it's already so creepy because it's like she sees it, but then all of a sudden she doesn't. So did she really see that, or is the apple or something playing tricks on her, or is her dad, like, I don't know, obsessed with this apple core so much that there's evil in him? I don't know, but it gave me the creeps. It was good. It was good for like that to be the opening prologue in a book. I'm so intrigued. Also, there's another scene in here where there's this guy preaching to the villagers, the people in the village who follow him, follow his every word, and it also seems like it's cultish, which I love reading books that are set around a cult or that are cult themed. I think that's very interesting and very creepy to read about. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this book. So far, so good. Again, I like Chuck Wendig's writing in this book. I think it's really good. I think if you're going to write a horror book about an evil apple or an evil apple orchard and it has descriptive sentences like that in it, like descriptive words, not just saying that the apple is precious and enticing and intriguing, but you're going into detail on how it is in a very descriptive way. I love that. I love that so much about books like this, which is why I don't mind reading such a thick book. So I am enjoying it. And then one of you guys also mentioned in my Spooky TBR video that you are reading this book, that you're really enjoying it. So that also enticed me to want to read it that much sooner. I'm very excited about that. Super, super excited. I think this is off to a great start. I just don't know how long this vlog is going to be. So if it's a 2-hour vlog, I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, I decided to start this and I'm physically reading it. I don't have an audiobook version of it yet, by the time it's going to be available, I'll be done with it. That's the update on that. So my parents gave me birthday money to buy, obviously, myself some books, and I did. I bought 7 books the other day. A couple of them came in today, so I wanted to share them with you. I didn't look too much inside. I just opened the top, and already I love the books I'm seeing. Right now, I'm in a horror mood. These are mostly thriller or horror. Let's get into it. Let's talk about them. Of course, I got Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Honestly, I really don't know what this book is about. I know that the synopsis intrigued me, and I think this is about a small town and the shadiness that goes around it and some secrets that are being revealed, I think. This is a dark, airy book about friendship, love, and vengeance. It's a dark, sultry fever dream of a novel with lush, gorgeous writing. Ooh, I love that. And dynamic characterization. Twilight meets True Blood meets Colleen Hoover in this completely original, explosive suspense where every line is a poem and every chapter is a lyrical symphony. I mean, that right there says enough. It's beautifully written. The characters fleshed out. That sounds so good. So good. It says, a killer hunts a small southern town, and 2 outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. For fans of verity and a flicker in the dark, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within us all. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That sounds so good. I love all those books. I feel like I want to vlog this too. I might do a vlog on this too because this sounds good. I don't know if I'm going to include it in this one because this one I'm trying to read more of horror and not thriller books. But I don't know. I'm the mood reader, you guys. I can't promise you anything. I will promise you vlogs, but I just can't promise you what's going to be in them because I don't know. I read as I go. The next one is The Narrow by Kate Alice Marshall, and I've heard lots of great things about Kate Alice Marshall. I think this is a YA. I think she writes a lot of YA books, but very creepy, and I heard that this one is about a haunted school. Whatever you do, don't let the water in. Yeah, this is like a dark academic. I can't wait to read all these books, you guys. First of all, the cover. Look at the cover. Beautiful. It's stunning, and I like that it's glossy. Everyone has heard the story of the Narrow. The river that runs behind the Atwood School is only a few feet across and seemingly placid, but beneath the surface the waters are deep and vicious. It's said that no one who has fallen in has ever survived. Eden White knows that isn't true. 6 years ago, she saw Delphine Fournier fall into the Narrow and live. Delphine now lives in careful isolation, sealed off from the world. Even a single drop of unpurified water could be deadly to her, and no one but Eden has an idea why. Eden hasn't told anyone what she saw and hasn't spoken to Delphine since, but now, unable to cover her tuition, she has to make a deal. Her expenses will be paid in return for serving as a live-in companion to Delphine. Eden finds herself drawn to the strange and mysterious girl, and the two of them begin to unravel each other's secrets. Then Eden discovers what happened to the last girl who lived with Delphine. She was found half drowned on dry land. Suddenly, Eden is working up to wet footprints, tracking to the end of her bed, the sound of rain on the windows when the skies are clear, and a ghostly silhouette in her doorway. Something is haunting Delphine, and now it's coming for Eden too. Oh, that sounds very good. Very interesting. The last book that came in for now is a series of short stories, but it's dark academia, which is very interesting to me. So this is a dark academia anthology in these hollow halls, and there's Olivia Blake, ML Rio, Susie Yang, David Bell, JT Filson, and many more who have wrote and participated in writing these short stories in here. And I'm very excited. Look at the cover. Look how pretty this cover is. The gold foiling on it is very pretty. It is a little torn though, like when I got it, there's like a side of it where it's a little torn. Okay, so that was very creepy. I'm looking at this creepy book and my phone starts beeping like crazy. It was an emergency like warning alert. It was really creepy. Anyways, what I was saying, it's annoying because I don't know if you can see. It's just a little bit, but right here, it's kind of ripped on some of the pages, and this book wasn't cheap, okay? So, I don't know if it's even worth exchanging for a new one. Only some pages were ripped. It's like it was like pushed against something. It's a collection of short dark academia stories, all featured by all these well-known authors. So I'm actually very excited to read it. The first one is called A Thousand Ships, and it's by Kate Weinberg. I plan on reading this, I don't know, maybe sometime in November. I feel like November is going to be my fantasy slash romance slash dark academia month. Of course, I'm not going to get to all the books, but I'm going to want to read those kind of genres then. This is my little book haul. This sounds so good. I almost want to just jump into it right away. That's my little book haul that I have for now until I get my other books. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish my chai latte and I'm going to read a little bit and then we'll see where I go from there. This book is like 650 pages, I think, something like that. So I plan on trying to read, if I want to read it at a decent pace, I plan on trying to read 100 pages a day. I usually am able to read 100 pages a day. However, I'm sick and just moving at a slower pace at this point. That's very ambitious for me, but it is an attainable goal, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try to read 100 pages today and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I came across another small paragraph or sentence that, even though it's not like super descriptive, it just gives me the chills over an apple, okay? Over just an apple. Listen to this. All right, let's give this a go, Marco said, polishing the apple with his shirt, eyeballing it. Marco gave her one last cheeky look and then opened wide, taking a big, loud bite. Crunch. He chewed a few times. That's when he stopped. The smile fell away. His face went almost blank, like he was staring past her further, past the driveway into some place beyond, like a memory. Then his eyes went wide and he held the apple close, staring at it as he resumed chewing. Juice dripped from his chin and he didn't even wipe it off. Well, Dad asked. Marco laughed around a mouthful of apple. This wasn't a show, she could tell that much. This is the best apple I've ever eaten, he said. Then he greedily devoured the rest of it right there without pause, like he was starving. Isn't that just so creepy, so cringy, watching somebody eat an apple like that, where he doesn't care and all the juices are running down his chin and he's just eating it like a caveman? I'm enjoying this book a lot. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update as far as the book goes, okay? So I went to pick up Charlie from school today. As I'm sitting in carpool, I read a chapter of Black River Orchard, and let me just tell you, I might be reading this book slow. It is a chunky book, but it's so good and it's so interesting. Who would have thought that a book about evil apples would be this interesting? I really didn't explain or read to you the synopsis of this book. If I could describe this book very quickly to you, it would be that this book is about an orchard with 7 trees that happen to grow evil apples in it, evil magical apples. And that's pretty much all you should know when going into this book, because I'm telling you right now, it's so good. I really enjoyed Chuck Wendig's writing. It's like not grungy, but it's descriptive, but like in a different way. I enjoy it though. I enjoy the way that he describes things. I don't even know how to explain it. All I know is that I really enjoy the way he writes and describes certain scenes in here, literally about an apple. And it's so creepy and it's so cringy and it like makes my skin crawl. It's so good. For now, this book is written in third person. We're following the lives of 4 people. So we're following Dan and his daughter Kala. Dan's father used to own this land where he attempted to have an orchard, and he attempted to grow the trees and the apples, but he failed doing it. So his dad passed away, and so Dan has taken it upon himself to basically follow in his dad's footsteps and try to make this orchard successful. And that's where the story begins in the prologue, where he has that bundle of sticks, which happen to be the core of the apple that he plants. It becomes a successful orchard of 7 trees that grow these delicious, mouth-watering, magical apples. So we're following them and their story and their journey with this. On top of that, we're also following a couple, Emily and Meg, who happen to move away from the city because I think something happened that they don't want to talk about. Something happened in their past that they're just trying to brush off and move forward, start with a clean slate. They move into the countryside, and I believe this town where they are, it's in Delaware. They move in this modern townhome that's on top of a hill, and then there's stairs that zigzag. It follows back into the river. I'm assuming the Black River, but I don't know yet. We followed them, their relationship. The problem is that Emily is afraid of water, and they literally live right in front of the water. We're following that couple and their relationship, and something happened that I can't say with Emily. And it's just, this book is so interesting. It is so good. I'm only on page 56, okay? And already something has happened. Major. To me, major. I regret nothing about this book. I know that this vlog might be longer. I'm hoping to finish this book in this vlog. If not, I have other creepy books lined up that are ready to be picked up by my library. Checked out the audio versions of them, and I thought it'd be so cool and so creepy to like listen to them at night while I drink my tea. But anyways, all I have to say is that it's so good. It's well written. It's very descriptive in a way. Only the important parts, the essential parts, the parts that describe how the person bites into the apple, the feeling that they get. And it's just, to me, it's beautiful, written in a way that it's not like flowery, but it's written in a way where just one sentence is descriptive enough to make it feel like it's grotesque and cringy and gross, but just so good. I'm enjoying the author's writing a lot. I'm glad I am, because for it to be like 600 and something pages, you need to give me something that's going to keep me glued onto the pages. And you need to make your story intriguing, descriptive, and just lyrical, basically. So he's doing that. He's doing a good job at it, because I'm only on page 58 and I am so intrigued about these apples. You have no idea. That is my update. I plan on reading a little more. Last night, I really didn't get to read much. I just didn't. I've been trying to fight this cold and super tired at night. And so I've just been trying to juggle that and trying to read at the same time. Today, I didn't get to read much either because today's my husband's birthday. So we've been doing some things, cooking him breakfast and making him lunch and stuff to make him feel extra special today. We're going to go to Home Depot in a little bit, and my husband's going to go on a shopping spree. I told him he can go on a shopping spree. So he's going to do that. He's going to get some tools because can never have too many. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's probably what we're gonna do tonight. We've also been watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't remember where it's on. It's on Nickelodeon. I think it's on Hulu. I think so. It's kind of like an updated version of the old show back in the day, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And we've been watching it with Jax because Charlie doesn't really, she likes to hang out in her room more. She doesn't really like to do a lot of movie nights with us, which is a bummer. But anyways, we watch it with Jax and it's creepy. Okay, it is creepy. So that is probably what we're gonna try to watch tonight with Jax. We're on episode 3 and it's so good. It's so good. I can say that it's teen approved, but my son likes to watch Jaws, and there's certain movies like that that are like so cheesy when it comes to the horror effects of it that doesn't really look too bad for my 5-year-old to watch. So, and I like scary movies and I like horror movies. I just never watch them because I never watch them by myself anymore. I want to watch them with my husband and my husband doesn't want to watch them. That is what we're doing for the rest of the day. Good morning. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I'm on page 128 of Black River Orchard, and I have to say that I'm absolutely loving it still so far. It's so freaking interesting. So interesting. And I've never read anything like this before. It is really well written. It's captivating, and every chapter, I don't know if it's considered a cliffhanger, but like a making me want to not put the book down and want to continue reading. This book, even though it's very long as far as like there's not a lot of paragraph breaks in it, and the words are fine, I guess. And the chapters are not super long, but they're not like short either. They're not like 1 page, 2 page chapters. It is so interesting. I love this book so much. I'm anticipating this book is going to be a 5-star read for me. Without going into a lot of details about it, right now we're being introduced to more characters, and it's interesting because each chapter is about different characters. It kind of goes back and forth with each one. These characters are all connected in some way, whether it's if they know each other or if they're part of a bigger event. You follow them, you follow their lives, and how the apples are affecting their lives differently, or how they've come across the orchard or the apples in different circumstances or in different ways. So it's very interesting. I'm just loving it. That's all I really have to say about this. It is so good, so interesting. You should definitely pick this up, even though I'm nowhere near finishing it. It is so good, so captivating, so intriguing, so interesting, well written, and so morbid and dark and grotesque. Also really done in a beautiful way. The writing is, I don't know how really to describe the writing. Again, it's not flowery, but it's lyrical. It's captivating. The writing, there you go. The writing is so captivating that I just can't stop reading it. Once I pick it up, because I really haven't had like a good amount of time to just sit and actually binge it, but once I pick it up, I get lost in it. I get lost in this story. I get immersed in it. And these characters they all have this kind of morbid characteristic to them. They're all dark in a way, and it's interesting to see how this story is going. Not only are these like magical apples, but they're magical evil apples, and let's just say you bite into one, it makes you feel so good. The experience of you eating it is so descriptive and it's so beautifully written that it just it just gives me shivers. It's cringy, but it's so good. It's like you bite into the apple and all your problems and your worries and everything goes away. You feel great. You excel in something, or your life gets better. But at what cost, right? At what cost? It's like you take from the apple and the apple takes back. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so good, you guys. Like, honestly, it's one of the best books I've read so far this year. I am so confident that I'm going to give this a 5-star. So yesterday, it was Friday. On Fridays, I clean the house, obviously, and so I needed to pick up a book that I could listen to, and this was finally available in my Libby app at my library, and so I picked up Old Country by Matt and Harrison Corey. Let me say, this book is so good. I'm only on I almost read 100 pages yesterday, so I'm on page 86, and I listened to the 3 hours that it took me to clean the house, and I just have to say, this is so interesting. It's so good. It follows this young married couple, Sasha and what's his name? I think his name is Harry. Yeah. Sasha and Harry, and they leave the big city because they always dreamed of just moving out to the country, owning their own land and living off the land, which honestly, that would be one of my dreams too. Like, I would love to do that. I would love to live off the grid somewhere. They get this old ranch house with maybe 30 acres of land for a very fair price. And so they go all in, they make an offer, and they get it right away. And they used to live in Colorado, but decided to move to the small town of Idaho. And so they move in, and the house is described as small, like it's a 1,000 square foot house, but it's so cozy and cute. There's a beautiful porch. They overlook the lake, and it's just beautiful. They're having the best time. They meet their neighbors, Dan and Lucy, I think. It's an older couple who have lived there for years and years, and they own their own part of the land. One day, as Dan is showing Harry around and kind of letting him know how to upkeep with his land and the farmhouse, he kind of warns him about some things that happen seasonally, that there is a mountain spirit that changes form during the seasons. So it's different in the spring, it's different in the summertime, it's different in the fall and winter. And he gives him a list of things that he needs to do in order to prevent provoking this evil entity or this evil spirit. And it is so good. I've already read through the springtime and what occurred in that time and what they did. And now we're moving on to part 3, summertime. In the summertime, it gets crazier, and it's so good because in the beginning of the book, the couple is like, you know, our neighbors are batshit crazy. There is no mountain spirits, and as weird as it sounds, I don't believe them. But the more things start to happen, the more they encounter these events, they can't help but to believe their neighbors and follow basically the rules that they were set aside for them. I'm telling you right now, if I moved into this dream ranch house and everything was perfect and the pricing was good, and my neighbors told me that there's certain things that you have to deal with throughout the season, and that there is a mountain spirit that visits, I'm moving, okay? I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how cheap it was. I don't care if it's my dream house. I am moving immediately because I believe in that stuff. Like, I believe in evil spirits, entities. I don't need to see them to believe. I am that person that does believe in those things. My husband, on the other hand, he doesn't. So it's like, it would be harder for me to convince him to, like, yeah, we just bought this house, let's move. But nonetheless, we will be moving because I am not going to be putting myself in that situation. But anyways, this is so good. It's so creepy. I love the narrators of this book. It's just so good. I'm enjoying it so much. Yesterday I read like 50 pages of this book, and I read 80, I think, 86 pages of this book. So overall, I'm pretty good. Even though the Black River Orchard book is super chunky, I am having the best experience with this spooky vlog because both books are so good. They are so interesting and they're so creepy, and it's just what I need for spooky season right now. Again, I'm still not feeling the greatest. I don't know when I'm gonna feel better, but I know that today my husband's off, and so I'm gonna take advantage and just lay in bed and try to read as much as I can, because honestly, that is all I want to do, especially when I'm not feeling the greatest. Hi, it's Monday, it's 4:30. I want to just give you a little bit of an update as far as my reading goes, and also I wanted to share the last couple of books that came in on my little mini book haul. So I did end up ordering 2 more books because I just couldn't help myself, okay? I don't know if I'm going to continue reading Black River Orchard in this vlog. I know I want to continue reading this book, but I don't know if I will continue reading it or at least finish it in this vlog, because literally, you guys, it's taken me forever to read, even though I'm enjoying it a lot and I love it. It's just taking me a while to read. I'm only on page 206 on chapter 30. I've only read like 7 pages this morning because I've been reading at Old Country the entire day. I do want to finish it in this vlog, but I don't know. We'll see, because this vlog is already long. As long as you guys don't mind, you guys will let me know in the comments if you like long vlogs or not. I've been reading Old Country all day. I've been listening to the audio. I'm on part 4 now, and it's autumn. page 203. So I'm like 50-ish or 56% through the book. I will definitely finish it in this vlog, this one at least. I'll say this right now. This book is so good. It is anxiety driven, okay? It is very good. I'm frustrated with the main character because he's a hothead and he has done some stupid things that I'm not going to name because I don't want to give anything away, but he has done some stupid things in this story and it's just annoying. It's annoying to be married to somebody like that. This book is so good. It's one of those books, again, it's lyrical. You know, I just love lyrical books. I love books that are well written, beautifully written. I will not stop talking and stress that enough. I can sit through a very long book in a very slow burn of a book, as long as it's well written, as long as it's lyrical, as long as it has so much more than just your in-your-face horror. I love subtle horror. I think it's creepier. I think it just gets into your bones and sinks into your skin and crawls up your spine. That's the kind of horror that I enjoy reading the most, I think. And this one's no different. Even says in the back, an extraordinary assured debut, uncanny yet real, both lyrical and brutal and rich with truth about life and death. I love this. I love this so much. It's so good. I'm enjoying it. And again, I'm still enjoying Black River Orchard. This book is the kind of book that, again, it's one of those things where give me 2 days and I will keep reading it. And the reason why I was able to read at least like 70 pages of it yesterday was because I could not put it down with the short amount of time that I had to read. This is another one of those bingeable books that if you give me enough time, I will binge it and I will read it. I'm going back and forth with both books because I do want to finish a few books in this vlog. That is the goal. This one I didn't get to read at all yesterday because I was so hooked on Black River Orchard, and now today I'm switching it up to this one and I'm hooked on this one. This vlog is becoming so successful for me because I'm loving my reading experiences. Both of these books are lyrical. They're well written and I just love it. I love that so much. It just enhances my enjoyment. I love it. So let's get to the books. The last little pile of books that I bought. This is for now. For now. Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. I've heard great things about this one. This one's one of those books that is creepy, but I think it's subtly creepy, which is up my alley. And this one is about a girl and her mother who live together, and the girl starts noticing that her mother is doing some weird, strange things. So the girl starts looking into her mother's background to find out more about her and what she did in her childhood. And she finds out that when she was younger, her mother used to practice witchcraft, but not the good kind, the very bad kind. I think black magic, maybe, I don't know, but her mother practiced witchcraft and it became very sinister. So that's all I really need to know about this book. Secrets, lies, super bad choices, witchcraft. And that's all I want to know about this book. I'm just so excited to read this. I'm so excited to get to this. I will say though, I don't like the demi size, the smaller versions of hardback covers. I think that's just the most annoying thing that you could do with the hardback. I don't know, it's just me, you know, preference. Like, look at the difference. See the difference? It's really annoying. I didn't know this book was going to be this tiny. If I would have known, I would have just bought the paperback. Inside, there's a cute little bunny, if you could see right there. I thought that was very cute. I also love this cover with the bunny. It's kind of a little bit disturbing. You know, I like it. The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I think this is the 10th year anniversary edition. This story has been out for years and years, but this author just recently revamped it and rewrote it because she believes that now she's a better and more seasoned author, and that she added a few things and revamped a few things in the story. So I'm glad to even get my hands on this copy. The cover is just stunning. Look at the cover. Look how beautiful that is. Look how stunning that is. All I know about this book is that this is a dystopian sci-fi high fantasy set in London. And really that's all I need to know about it because it's set in London, which I love. I love the setting of it. It's high fantasy, so I've been trying to kind of expand my genres and subgenres in my horizons a little bit with reading. I don't just always want to read romance fantasies, although I do love me a good romance fantasy, don't get me wrong. I also want to be able to read other things as well and be able to digest other things as well. And sci-fi I heard is really hard. but I'm willing to try it, okay? I'm willing to try it. People love this book a lot. I'm not even gonna read you the synopsis because I don't want to make this really long, but this book, I heard really great things about it. It's also a little bit of mystery murder. Super excited about that. It's the author of The Priory of the Orange Tree. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have read The Priory of the Orange Tree. I've heard like mixed reviews. I've heard not only is it a big chunky book, but I've heard it's super, super boring for most of it, but then I've heard other people really love it. So if you've read it, let me know what your experience is on it, if you loved it, what you thought, but no spoilers, please, okay? While I was looking for the last book that I'm gonna show you after this one popped up on my Amazon suggestions. It sounded so good, and it is The Coven by Harper Lee Woods. I mean, first of all, look at this cover. It's a witchy vampire book, I believe, but look at this cover. And it's funny because the paperback is kind of tiny and narrow, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's the first in the series. The second book hasn't come out yet. And I heard that this book leaves you on a cliffhanger. The first in the Coven of Bones series. Dark academia, enemies to lovers. There's world building, twists and turns. It's also a story about revenge. Revenge. Raised to be my father's weapon against the coven that took away his sister and his birthright. I would do anything to protect my younger brother from suffering the same fate. My duty forces me to the secret town of Crystal Hollow and the prestigious Hollows Grove University, where the best and the brightest of my kind learn to practice their magic free from human judgment. There are no whispered words here, no condemnation for the blood that flows through my veins. The only animosity I face comes from the beautiful and infuriating headmaster, Elric Grayson Thorne, a man who despises me just as much as I loathe him and everything he stands for. But that doesn't mean secrets don't threaten to tear the school in two. No one talks about the bloody massacre that forced it to close decades prior, only the opportunity it can afford to those fortunate enough to attend. Because the first time in 50 years, the Coven will open its wards to the 13th. 13 promising students destined to change the world. If the ghost of Hollows Grove's victims don't kill them first. There's revenge in there. It's dark academic. It's witchy. They're going to a school to practice magic. And then there's also ghosts in there. I feel like this is perfect for the spooky season. Will I get to it this month? No. But I will get to it at some point. Literally, this book has been everywhere in my face, okay? It was one of Fairyloot's special editions, but people have been raving about it. People talk about this book, Bonesmith by Nikki Pau Preto. Okay, I have to read this. I really want to read this month, but again, I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to, but look at this cover. It is so stunning, so stunning. I heard it's perfect for spooky season because it's a badass girl seeking out revenge, I think, and also killing ghosts along the way. I mean, look at the skeleton ghost in here. The world building is very descriptive. It has some good character development in there, and it's enemies to lovers romance. That's really all I really need to know about this, and I think the main character, her duty is to go and rescue the prince that's stuck in these woods that maybe is full of the ghosts. I don't know. It sounds so good. If I start reading it and if I do a blog about it or in one of my videos, I will explain more about it, but I've heard that it's such a great book. It's a YA fantasy romance and it's got a little bit of everything and it's very descriptive, so I'm willing to give it a shot. Good morning. It's the next day. I'm just in such a great mood because I've been having such great experiences with my reads in this vlog, which is awesome. It's 9:08 right now. I've been doing this thing where I'm drinking tea. Let me just get closer to the camera. So I'm doing this thing where I've been drinking tea in the morning before I do anything else because going straight to coffee is not very good for my stomach. So I drank my tea this morning and now I am drinking my coffee as I make myself breakfast. I've been craving okay, don't judge me, but I've been craving tacos, breakfast taco instead of a breakfast burrito. So I have some Taco Bell taco shells that I just got from the store and I'm making myself a scrambled with some, hold on one second, I have to turn the eggs. Anyways, so I'm making myself some scramble and I'm gonna use some salsa, some cheese, and then some hot sauce to go with it. And I'm so excited to have this breakfast. My husband says that I'm so weird. I don't know why, but I'm craving it. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I think yesterday I read over 122 pages of Old Country and I have 4 hours and 22 minutes left before I finish it. I want to be ambitious and I want to finish it today. We will see if that even happens. I do want to finish it though. And then once I'm done with it, I can jump right back into the Black River Orchard, which is such a good book. Oh my gosh, it's such a great book. Obviously, I've been talking and ranting about it this whole vlog. Yeah, I'm having a great day, guys. I'm just having a great day. Oh, also, the main reason why I wanted to give you an update is that last night my husband was sleeping and I was laying in bed and I decided, well, I want to read my book. I want to listen to Old Country. And so I did that and it was so creepy. Like, this book is sectioned out in phases of the season. So there's spring, summer, fall, and I think winter, but I haven't gotten there yet. We're at the autumn fall portion of the book. And without saying much, it is so creepy. It is so creepy. I'm in the beginning of that chapter right now, and I was so scared last night, even though my husband was right next to me. I was listening to it last night, and I had to stop listening to it and go to bed because I was getting creeped out. It's so creepy. The autumn fall section, part 4 of this book. It's so creepy. It kicked it up a notch. And this is like the kind of book that is subtly creepy. It's not like in your face creepy, but nonetheless, it's really, really creepy. So I'm really enjoying it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I finished Old Country. Oh my gosh, I cannot stop talking and raving about this book. It was just so good. I literally spent like 10-15 minutes talking to my husband about how good it was. The parts that were just so scary and so creepy to me. And look how much I tabbed this. You see that? I have nothing but great things to say about this book. I gave this book a 5-star and it was just so good. Very descriptive, very lyrical, so well written. I'm obsessed with it. I feel like this is the kind of book I will never stop wanting to read. I'll probably read it again during the same time next year because it was just that good. The narrators, you get a male and a female narrator narrating this book. This was narrated by Juliet Goglia and Kif Vanden Helvel. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce their names, but gosh, did they do a phenomenal job narrating this book. It was so good. So good. I am so obsessed with it. This is the kind of book that it was more psychological, which I really love, that type of horror. It was paranormal, psychological. It was almost kind of like a slow burn. It's not in your face, and I absolutely loved that about it. The descriptions of their ranch and their acreage and what they did on a daily basis as far as enjoying the land and their garden and reading a book by the fireplace, it really made me feel like I was there with them. It made me want to go, even though we've had this dream too, I would love to live off the grid. It's one of my dreams. I would love to live in the middle of nowhere, off the land, in a ranch. I think that's just such a dream. I enjoyed the details in those parts a lot because I could just totally feel myself living and enjoying the land like these characters did. And then when the paranormal stuff happened, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so scary, so frightening, so just, oh, it's spine chilling. It is so good. This book was so amazing. I'm giving this book a 5-star. I'm not going to keep ranting about it because this vlog is already super long as it is, but I enjoyed it. It was well written. I'm so impressed with the authors of this book. Even how they wrote Sasha, her reactions, how she reacted to certain events. It was just so good. It was well written. I love this book. This is one of my favorite horror books. I said it, one of my favorite horror books. Completely in love with it. It's a book that everybody should read, honestly. It's such a good and a different take on horror and psychological horror and paranormal entities and spirits and just also the land. You learn a lot about the land and everything. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I literally have like 40 minutes of footage that I still need to edit for this vlog, and before that it's like an hour and 3 minutes long already. So I'm kind of debating if I should even continue this vlog and finish Black River Orchard, or if I should just end the vlog with these 2 books. Overall, I've had such an amazing experience and time reading these books, but I also feel like I'm burning myself out a little bit because even though I'm enjoying Black River Orchard, I'm not like this horror girly that could read back to back horrors. I can't because I get burned out, you know? When I read a horror book, I get so invested in the characters, or any book, right? I get so invested in the characters and the storyline that like I almost feel everything that they're feeling in a way. Meaning like if the book is depressing, I'm gonna feel sad and a little bit depressed. I don't know, it's weird. That's how I associate horror with. It's gloomy, it's depressing, it's a vibe, it's a mood. And I don't know if I could do that for the rest of the month and just read some more more horror books. I honestly feel like I should take a break. And if I'm gonna read horror, maybe read a gothic horror or a gothic fantasy horror. Something to just break it up a little bit so I'm not getting burnt out, because I do plan on doing a separate weekend vlog, and I haven't decided if it's gonna be a weekend vlog or it's gonna be a readathon. But in that vlog, I really wanted to read just horror books, short novellas for 4 days, and see as much as I could read and have it posted for you guys on Halloween. Honestly, I feel like I need to read something a little different so that I don't get burned out, because I can see myself getting burned out because I'm such a heavy mood reader. These 3 books that I've just read, I was in a horror kick, so I've already gotten that satisfied. So I feel like I want to read something different, you know, maybe still ghostly autumnal vibes, but just something different. I will let you guys know what I decide to do, because I really still have a long ways to go with Black River Orchard, and I just don't know if I could keep reading something like that right now and not give it its full attention, because I'm kind of seeing that I can get burnt out. I'm still enjoying it. I know it's going to be a 5-star. I don't know, maybe I'll read The Coven by Harper Lee Woods, or maybe I'll read Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert, which is also another creepy book. But then there's also The Bonesmith that I've been hearing nothing but great things that I kind of want to get to, and it's perfect for spooky season, but it's more than just a spooky book, you know? So I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I do know that I'm super proud of myself, because this vlog is probably the longest vlog I'll have out so far, but it's been so successful. I haven't been reading super quickly, but the times that I have been reading, I've been fully invested in the storyline and the characters and the books. I've been creeped out, which is my goal. It's my goal for this vlog to be creeped out. That's basically the plan right now. We'll see. I have 2 more audiobooks that are available. Daisy Darker's available on my Libby app, and also Just Like Mother, which is another creepy horror book. They're like 10 to 11 hours, but again, I'm like in the middle of Black Orchard. Do I want to start another audiobook? I have to return them in 12 days, so I don't know. Maybe just to get another book out of the way. I don't know, guys. Like, this is mood reading till its fullest, okay? This is basically what I go through in my head when it comes to me finishing a book, because as I'm reading the book, I could be in the mood to read the same genre, and then once I finish, I could get that satisfied already and then want to read something different, you know? I did a video of an unboxing, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. It's my first Illumicrate box that I've waited months and months to be taken off the wait list in order to experience the same joys that all of the members experience when they receive their special edition box every month. I'm so excited. I'm on Fairy Loot's waitlist too, but I feel like Fairy Loot is going to take a while to like get me off their waitlist, but it's fine. When I finally get to obtain these boxes, I will be doing unboxing videos, which is very, very exciting for me, because it's not only another video, it's an unboxing video. So you guys will experience with me my reactions, my excitement to open the box every month. I'm so excited. I need to edit that video, which is probably what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, is edit it, get it ready to be posted tomorrow. And then I'm going to decide what book I want to read, honestly, because I don't know. The problem I have is I have so many good books that are just so raved about and so talked about, and I just don't have enough time to read them all, and it frustrates me. Yes, I know, it's a good problem to have. It frustrates me because I want to read them all at the same time, and obviously I can't. So we will see. Hi, good morning. So it's been a few days since I've updated this vlog. I don't know if it's been a week to be exact, probably. It's been like 5 days, maybe, I don't know. I decided that I wanted to close out the vlog today because it's my longest vlog yet. I hope you guys did enjoy it because it was fun filming it, but I wanted to give you an update on the books and how much I've read so far, and just talk about them before I close it out. So let's talk about them. In this vlog, potentially, I wanted to read 3 books. Did I get to read 3 books? Sort of. Okay, the first book I read was The September House, and that book was so good. I gave that book a 5-star. I listened to the audio version of that book, and it was just so good. Perfect way for me to start this spooky vlog, and perfect for spooky season. So I loved it so much. 5 stars, highly recommend for you guys. The second book I read, I also read on Audible, The Country House by Matt and Harrison Corey. This book was phenomenal. Gave this book a 5-star. It was so good, so atmospheric, so perfect for, again, spooky season. I highly recommend you read this book. It's paranormal, but it's done in such a creative way. It's very lyrical and very informative. You get to learn about the land as well, the legends, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved it so much, you guys. I gave this book, again, 5-star. Absolutely loved it. And then the last book that I wanted to read in this vlog was The Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig. I am currently still reading this book. I'm literally on page 210, almost to chapter 31. I anticipate that this book is going to be also also a 5-star for me, but I'm not gonna finish it in this vlog because otherwise this vlog would be like 3 hours. I will say though, I'm putting it down for now because I'm just not in the mood for it. Even though it's such a great book and I'm enjoying every bit of it, I am reading it so slow that I feel like if I try to force myself to finish it in this vlog, I'm rushing through it and I'm not giving it the respect and the time that it needs. And this book really needs that because it's so good, it's so beautiful, it's so lyrically written that I just have to take my sweet time with it, if you get what I'm saying. Also, if you see here, I've tabbed a lot of it because I'm taking my sweet time and tabbing it. Again, it's one of those things that I'm not in the mood to do right now, even though the story is so interesting and so thought-provoking. I'm just not in the mood, you guys. Like, I'm not in the mood to read it right now, so I'm gonna put it down. Not so to say that I'm not gonna pick it back up this month, or maybe I'll pick it back up next month. I do intend to finish reading it, just not now because I'm just not in the mood. But again, I highly recommend it still. It is a 5-star read for sure. This whole entire experience with this book has been a 5-star. Also, I think because I'm kind of reading the same style of books, meaning they're very lyrical, very descriptive, I kind of need a break from that. I kind of want to just read something else. I don't know what I want to read next. I do have a couple of other horror books in mind, but I just want to pick up something that's short and sweet and grabs my attention, but it doesn't have to be so thought-provoking, if you get what I'm saying. To recap, I've read 3 books in this vlog. Finished The September House, finished Old Country, and I'm still reading The Black River Orchard. I honestly feel like this vlog, even though it's the longest vlog that I've yet had so far on my channel, I feel like this vlog was very fun to make. Also, I just got so lucky with these books. These are the kind of horror books that I enjoy reading the most, but because I enjoy them so much, I do take a longer time to read them because I want to be immersed in them. Even though my intention was to read 3 books, I kind of did that, even though I didn't finish the last one. I'd like to say this was a very successful vlog for me. All of these books in this vlog were 5-star reads. I'm just so happy that I got lucky enough to randomly pick these books and enjoy them as much as I did. So there you have it, guys. That's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and I hope that you don't mind that it's this long. I just apparently had a lot to say about these books, and I hope that what you can get out of this vlog is some really good, lyrical, thought-provoking, beautifully written horror stories, and they're very unique as well. I feel like that's kind of the theme for this vlog, is they're horrors, but they're not your average classic horrors. They're very unique and they're done differently. So I hope that you can add these books to your TBR because you won't regret it. They were amazing reads. Thank you again so much for watching my video, you guys, and thank you so much if you stick through this entire vlog. I appreciate it so much. I enjoy making these videos and I don't always have the time to make them. So when I do, I put a lot of passion and heart into them, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope that you guys see that. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye!